Welcome to Battle of Psychics is a global experiment in which we test people with paranormal abilities. They are all vying for the title of Best Psychic, but every week one of them leaves our project, although sometimes completely unforeseen circumstances occur in our battle. Last week, the jury recognized the weakest psychic, Adeline Kareva, but she refused to leave the project and explained it like this.
I'm a genuine psychic, but some have leaked information to me. I don't trust my under.
Adeline was supported by the other clairvoyants.
She knew in advance that she was coming, and she knew in advance the answer to these tests.
Adelina Kareva challenged Sula Iskander to a duel.
Let me and Sulu have a job, and then we'll find out who the real psychic is.
We accepted the unprecedented decision and agreed. Opportunity for another week. So Iskander, Adeline Kareva and other psychics await new tests. Psychics in captivity of the World Wide Web.
What is the answer?
Floyd.
Psychics communicate with ghosts.
Here, you see it, bro.
The moment before death, what was it like?
It's a downfall.
When we prepare our trials, we take great care to ensure that all psychics are on perfectly equal terms and do not know anything in advance. This time we decided to strengthen the security measures so that there was no leakage of information. Each psychic will have their own unique task. An ordinary person corresponding with a stranger on the internet can only guess what his interlocutor looks like an ordinary person, but not a psychic. We decided to test whether clairvoyance, without seeing or hearing a person, can write his gender, age, and external data. Furthermore, if these individuals cheat during our experiment, it will involve participation, and each psychic will be assigned their own unique task.
The character in all these outfits are not holy.
I have a non-standard sexual orientation.
Watch the frequency, experiment and observe. Behind the psychic work will be TV presenter Anfisa Chekova. Not her, nor psychics will know who they are in contact with at the moment.
Now you have to describe a person at a distance. You will communicate with him on the internet. You can ask absolutely any questions, but you understand yourself that on the internet, people rarely tell the truth about themselves. You need to say gender, age, and what he's wearing. You can write for yourself, or I can write for you.
No, I have other means here, so I will use my means.
This young girl will communicate with Nadezhda Titova. She is 23 years old. Non-traditional sexual orientation.
The woman's clothes are purple, pink, golden, and her age. The age of 5 and 3 is emerging, so it will emerge even more brightly. Road and house?
I need to say age.
I won't say age.
Light purple blouses, dark pants, I don't know. Age.
It seems that this is not enough at all in between.
3 and 5 say that. The numbers are cold, however.
I don't know his age, but he's in between.
3 and 5 say.
A life without confiscation, what is it even about?
The psychic can evaluate your result right now. The interlocutor sends a photo.
Let's see if you guess or not.
Yes, look.
23 years old, dressed in black.
Oh,
Well, the fact that she didn't determine my orientation is a...
Okay, Anastasia. We'll dress you up in the outfits you promised.
Psychic Mehdi got a skeptical young man of 28 years.
I'm 90% sure he won't write.
Who am I? What am I? I'm sure that.
Young man, sure.
Mehdi was barely able to identify the gender of his interlocutor, leaving the other end of the line quite dissatisfied.
100% won the indisputable fact that psychics do not exist in our modern times.
Two young men, both in their early 20s, had an encounter with Vadim Selin.
We'll write and we'll wait, right?
Well, why are you silent? Let's write something there.
It seems to me that my interlocutor is a man. A suit made of such an expensive material with such a sheen. Bronze Man 28. I'll let you write down. 28 years of Bronze Ebb. Oh well, what a mess. A man, a mess, a mess.
Let's take a photo or something.
I find this task to be incorrect. Why? Because you mentioned only one person would be corresponding with me, but now it turns out there are two.
It was necessary to figure out who.
No, you also told me to describe the person who communicates there. This suggests that there is one person there who's not the same.
No psychic could describe the three main things: gender, age, and appearance of his interlocutor, Victoria Zeleznova, begins the test. Her opponents will be the finalists of last season's Battle of Psychics.
I'm Leonid Konovatov. I am 45 years old and I'm a psychic.
To confuse Victoria, Leonid even came up with an internet legend.
I will eventually become a retired grandmother with 3 lovely grandchildren.
Unlike other psychics, Victoria Zeleznova used the right to enter into correspondence.
When was the most recent occasion you were intimate with a man?
Wow.
Intimacy with a man.
I recall it being around 8 to 10 years prior.
And with a woman?
A woman? Well, a friend posed a question to a woman. I will jot down that it never happened. There were only affectionate kisses.
So there were only kisses with a woman at the station.
My relatives were in another city, a nightmare.
Having checked the cards, Toro Victoria Zeleznova made her conclusion.
Either an active lesbian, or vice versa, a man who feels like a woman.
Let's thoroughly examine how accurate your interpretation is. One of the psychics who was involved in the previous project?
With his orientation. We hold significant doubts.
I can perceive what currently troubles a person. He likely hasn't engaged in sexual activity in the past week.
Sulo Iskander, Adelina Karaiva were also very far from the truth.
Amen. With a dark appearance and donned in a black jacket, their average age is generally below 24.
26.
My name is Arthur, and I'm 13 years. They are both non-traditional orientations.
Let it be so.
You're quite irrational.
Well, it's difficult to concur that we're really... Up until this point, no clairvoyant has precisely described a person merely by online communication. Alexei Fat struggled for a whole 10 minutes to even ascertain the gender of his partner.
There was a woman. Why images tell I can't understand.
Psychic disorientation. Unsurprisingly, he encountered a transvestite since Napoli is a man fond of adorning himself in women's attire.
A variety of images. For an instant, there was a lady.
If they guess what? I am a woman in a twofold manner. I believes in psychics.
For him to place his hand upon the key.
I find it impossible to ascertain who is with us online. As the saying, the screen conceals all.
We focus on the female image. A woman. The apparent age of that could be around 30 years old.
I've guessed 35 years.
Skirt above the knees. Shades are present.
Basically, I have a dark color.
Gives it the appearance of a wig.
Observe. Need to wear a wig? Speculated about the wig.
This appears to be a transvestite man dressed as a woman.
Consequently, I have alternating images of man, woman, woman, man.
So in this test, we observed more than all others managed to Alexei Fad. He was absolutely precise even in the details, but our militant psychics Sulu Iskander and Adelina Karaeva failed with the first task. The duel has only begun. It's 0-0. Another major test. What mysteries does Old Estate hold? What is hidden within its walls?
Feels like we're just treading on bones.
Are you sure there's one holding here?
He predicted the great future.
I am beyond certain that nothing can occur to this individual.
The demise of Alexander Lebed. Newly unveiled details as perceived by the psychic.
This is political reason.
Since ancient times, people have believed in horoscopes and often planned their lives according to the arrangement of the stars, but at the moment there are more than 32 types of horoscopes. How to properly understand this diversity? The Oracle newspaper will tell you. It will also tell about the secret civilization and superpowers of man. Read the new Oracle. Nevertheless, all our psychics are gearing up for another examination.
Now,
they are currently heading toward the northwest of Moscow.
Clairvoyants go here to the rest house of the Moscow Aviation Institute. Here everything is as in an ordinary boarding house. A calm, measured life, walks, lunches on schedule. But there is one thing that sets this vacation home apart from the rest, its own ghost.
So darkness, and on the second floor a white figure manifested. It was instantly clear this wasn't a living person, but something beyond comprehension.
The ghost of a woman disturbs locals often. It appears at night and most often during the full moon. Those who encounter it remain perplexed by the ghost's appearance and endure bouts of panic terror. I was in the company of the girls when this occurred. They went to the window. Were they scared? Started shouting.
It was very creepy.
Our constant skeptic magician Sergei Safronov does not believe in any miracles. He volunteered to find out what was really going on at the vacation home.
Understand me, correct simply does not exist. So I can't even imagine our psychics talking here, but I would gladly look at it.
We decided that even if ordinary people see a ghost here, psychics should also immediately feel the restless spirit.
Yes, it's a ghost.
At this moment, I witness it garbed in white. Spur is so close here that the face is not visible. That is, the silhouette is a white silhouette, sexless. Well, will we explain it or not? Only display and interpret the unfolding events. Oh, such things are hanging here. Should I inform you?
Do you record?
Here it is located here. Don't you really see this? Yes, well, here you don't see this silhouette. Maybe the camera will see it. I don't know how you cannot see it.
Contrary to the assumptions of psychic Nadezhda Titova, we did not find any traces of ghosts on our film, although we have a video recording that local residents gave us. The guards move. Yes, can you see him? The truth or just a computer-generated effect remains to be seen. Let's find out what our psychics observed. The test begins right at the gate of the holiday home. Why do you say it's impossible? The first instance in the entire project when Mehdi Ibragini Wafa declined to undergo the test right in front of us.
There are numerous ghosts that I completely wish to avoid encountering. It gave me a terrible feeling. Please forgive me.
Do ghosts truly exist? Can encountering them pose dangers to psychics?
A multitude of ghosts walk around here, armed with bayonets, each chasing the other.
Psychic Vadim Selin 1 dared to describe ghosts to our cameras. Interestingly, he mentioned that the local ghost isn't a woman. The gypsy is convinced that male spirits in military attire reside here.
There are soldiers here, sunk on this land. This whole territory here is just strewn with bones.
2530 to 800.
He just has a vision of what we really are, but...
Local residents only talk about the mysterious ghost of a woman. Maybe psychics confuse different layers of time.
The names of the writers were Pushkin, Lermontov.
probably Pushkin.
The difference from Vadim Selina's psychic Dolina Karaev was in the early 19th century, and she described the local ghost as follows.
A woman of average height, and somehow upstairs she has such beautiful hair.
That's how describe a ghost. Local residents say that it has been appearing here for more than 200 years. According to legend, the woman in white is none other than the ghost of the famous grandmother Natalia Goncharova. Natalia Nikolaevna was the wife of Alexander Pushkin and often told him about this family secret.
They even say that Pushkin knew about this ghost, because Natalia Nikolaevna told that he was a resident of this estate. Natalia Nikolaevna, her sister, did not enjoy living here.
Natalia Goncharova herself was an exact copy of her grandmother, and everyone who saw the ghost here will recognize the features of Pushkin's lovely wife.
I will still tell her the first surname Pushkin is used, then Goncharov, Natalia Goncharov is probably.
They're women, black hair curled like this.
The ball gown on the woman.
Many psychics quite accurately describe the woman in white, who is a local resident. But so far, none of the clairvoyants managed to explain why the spirit of grandmother Natalia Goncharova remained restless.
Are you sure there is one event here?
I personally don't.
The woman in white stands a long distance in the time. The appearance most likely occurs in frequently occurring lunar time cycles, more coastal full moons. Now I'll try to call her closer. Jort Jucht, aka Vicar Jort. I heard there is a noble origin white dress. It is from very family from.
Those of wealth.
A man is upstairs. This is how they descend the stairs, something with him. Perhaps they were kept within this place.
If the local ghost does exist, then the Slavic sorcerer Alexei Fat is now closest to his true Ulrich story, that Natalia Goncharova's grandmother really brought her lover here to this estate, and she was pregnant by him. Ulrika did not know that the Russian hussar was already married.
And suddenly at the meeting, little children run out and go out to meet Ivan Zagryaskov's first wife. Ivan turns around and leaves, and no one has ever seen him here on this estate again.
6 months later, here at Larik's estate, she gave birth to a daughter. And her parents cursed her because she abandoned her husband and child because of her lover. At the age of 30, Ulrika died from an unknown diagnosis. Many believe the cause of death was depression and depression. One way or another. But after her death, her ghost began to disturb the inhabitants of the house.
Looks like she lost a baby. And died here, the suicide protest. Which usurped greatly the soul of... Perhaps her bones were or are here, part of the soul. Walls the place where the body either rested or where they lie.
Right, it really is.
Explain the ghost seen by the residents in detail.
He described it as much as possible.
He's just right.
I admit openly and honestly, the haunting test appeared somewhat unusual to me as a method to test the words of psychics.
It is quite challenging here, but you must agree it doesn't apply to all of us.
I believe in ghosts. For our next test, we have invited a woman who can absolutely accurately verify the words of clairvoyance by coincidence. She witnessed tragic events that the whole country still remembers.
A tragedy that shook the entire country.
We are already on the ground, a beautiful helicopter. The whole mirror turned into just a pile of metal.
2002. Of the 20 passengers aboard, only 12 made it through the ordeal.
Holding each other soon.
You accidentally get into this disaster?
What details will psychics reveal about this tragedy?
Well,
It fell down.
They're technically
Problem. You are watching the Battle of Psychics. I am Mikhail Porechenko. At the end of this program, the jury will decide who will be the best psychic this week, for whom will our battle end. And of course, we continue to follow the duel of Sula Iskander and Adelina Karayeva. Now they, along with other psychics, are preparing for the last one for today. Decisive test.
Many people know in the Krasnoyarsk. She was a news correspondent for one of the regional television companies. In her reports, Ham told about the most striking and scandalous events in the life of the region. Due to her duty, she often had to go on business trips. This trip was Emma's last.
There were no premonitions, except that when we were waiting for the helicopter, for some reason, I put everything in my bag very carefully and threw everything away. I don't know why it felt like my bag might get caught. Well, into the wrong hands.
It was upon Sunday, April 28, 2002. Emma Mamutova, like other journalists, was on board a helicopter with the governor of Krasnoyarsk territory, Alexander Lebed. His deputies by helicopter flew to the Ermakovsky district. Lebed was supposed to open a new ski slope there. Board members included 20 people.
The helicopter suddenly flew half sideways, then leveled up, and everyone sighed with relief. And then it failed. That is, we were already on the ground, a beautiful helicopter. The whole mirror turned into just a pile of metal.
Less than a kilometer to the destination. Governor's Mi-8 helicopter crashed in snow. The crash resulted in the deaths of 8 people, including Governor General Alexander Lebed. However, 12 passengers, including Mamutova, survived.
I stayed in the chair. I had the feeling that my legs were pinched. They were burning so badly. The arm was broken, turned the other way. So I corrected it. The fact that I stayed alive, happy, and everything else didn't seem so scary to me.
For more than 6 months, Emma was bedridden about work and career had to be forgotten because she was in the hospital. Today she will be the heroine of our test. Psychics should describe the event that dramatically changed her life and observe the experiment, our permanent expert.
Greetings, Alexei. Good afternoon. Alexei, this is Emma. 5 years ago, in your successful life, an event occurred that broke her career. What was and what is now? What can you say?
There is definitely a loss. This loss has disrupted your entire life. It seems you're still coping with the aftermath. It's lifelong. Unusual, long. For some reason, the scene became remarkably intense, followed by the appearance of a morning flower. Then, unexpectedly, Crimea became seen from above.
Could you clarify what you mean by Crimea?
I saw Crimea from above.
You've seen because my parents are there.
I know it seems like a flight. That is, I looked through you. You are doing something related to air skydiving. This flight.
No, you know, I have a serious fear of flying. I don't understand what could make me try skydiving.
Why did you come off from above?
Alexei Fat did not accidentally see the picture from a bird's eye view. The governor's Mi-8 helicopter crashed just at this height. At the time of its fall, the distance to the ground was 40-50.
Well, it was such a terrible feeling, and for some reason I thought that if I close my eyes now and my whole life is brought in front of me, like on film as usual, people ride, I closed my eyes. There were no feelings, and for some reason I was immediately convinced that we would be saved.
The overwhelming fear that Amy experienced during moments of tragedy was felt instantly. The next clairvoyant, Victoria Zeleznova.
The fear of an imminent end. You sat and prayed. Yes, I understand that you knew what lay ahead. You think it was the end. It's terrifying, this downwards into uncertainty. It's like a wreck. Falling.
Two psychics have already sensed the formidable energy of an event that shattered Emma's life. But is there anyone who can see what exactly happened on April 28, 2002?
Yes.
See the man who was seated beside you? I'll give you some names. The name is Konstantin.
Yes.
Hope.
Hope.
I heard them loudly yelling. That's what I observed. And those are the names they mentioned. I heard them shrieking at that very moment.
Yes, Konstantin Stepanov was there. The journalist from the newspaper was Igor Goriev. This is my colleague, the cameraman.
So you are connected?
And there's hope.
You are very fortunate. Why are we watching this movement?
I'm observing you. Why did you turn around?
Something related to the helicopter.
What exactly?
I witnessed the helicopter coming down. Everything was completely broken. However, as I observed, it doesn't make sense to me. We just sustained injuries. Honestly, the way you managed is quite a mystery.
What injuries?
Bow's legs and a little aim. But it's good.
Yes.
I think what's a politician?
It happened.
Were the people surrounding you actively involved in politics?
The name of the politician
Was on board.
5 years ago, everyone across the nation recognized Alexander Lebed,
A combat general who passed.
Afghanistan and all the hot spots of the former Soviet Empire. He was on the path to presidency where he attracted both love and hatred. That he was against the first war in Chechnya. He was the one who stopped her.
The war has concluded and it has been won decisively.
As a real paratrooper, General Lebed loved to fly on any business trip in the Krasnoyarsk territory.
He was going to
Helicopter.
The business trips during which we flew with the governor appeared completely safe. We were entirely convinced that nothing would happen to this individual under any circumstances. I was always afraid of flying, but here I felt absolutely protected.
The tragic incident happened around 10 a.m. during snowfall. The governor's Mi-8 helicopter was traveling at a low altitude due to poor visibility and subsequently collided with a power line before crashing into the snow a few meters away from the federal highway.
There's to understand why this helicopter went down. It's not technical.
Problem.
The explosion, something unusual occurred inside that helicopter?
Well, there was no explosion in the examination assessment.
On the right side, at the aft and bottom sections, the size is... This kind of thing could potentially ruin everything right away. We're looking for the whole house. was conspiracy.
Conspiracy. Opposite whom?
Against the man who is accompanying you?
We do not know if the crash of helicopters with Alexander Lebed on board could have been a planned action. However, the clairvoyant Ichti stated a number of undeniable facts connected to this tragedy. There was a prominent political figure, and finally, the injuries that our heroine suffered, unlike Mehdi. The following psychics couldn't perceive anything.
They hit him very hard. The man hit him with a foot or something right here. This is where it has already gone, and the organs have already, part of it was removed.
Psychic Vadim Selin also failed to see what happened to Emma. The car collided with such a pillar.
2 individuals were injured, I believe. We made no guesses.
There is no information today.
No information was available this time for clairvoyant Adelina Karaiva.
At this moment, I actually have the word set up.
Someone betray you? Maybe today is not my day.
Absolutely not. No, I can't.
It was a failure, especially frustrating.
Adeline, today it's critical for her to triumph over her opponent Salah Iskander. This intense personal duel between these two psychics is still ongoing.
Will Sulu see?
Happened that day by Sam Mamutova.
You fly up. Well, this is the fall.
You were not alone, I think, after all. This is a disaster related to transport, some kind of big car. Because there were some people screaming there. Well, maybe the internal fear was very scary. Probably there were 10 people. Probably about that. Maybe a little more. Let me assume that this helicopter, because the blades are very large, is like cutting off something there. At first I thought it was a bus, but the blades showed up. You lived a few here.
That's it. You are indeed correct.
All right, what next?
You either draw or write. Well, I don't see that yet.
Yes, you're right.
For some reason, one picture is emerging for me now. The boy is probably a child.
Here.
The presence of a man is a wall support. An individual who grants you the liberty to act composedly, create and nurture children.
Indeed, after the disaster, Amy Mamutova had to leave the profession. Work as a correspondent as before does not allow health. Group 2 of disabilities, but in personal life.
She is completely in order.
When I got out of the hospital, I married a man who supported me very much when I couldn't walk. He carried me in his arms, that is. Stairs and everywhere. Literally a few months after discharge, I got pregnant, gave birth to a child, and now I have a family, a husband, a beloved child.
A calm environment is still destined for you, because you did not accidentally fall into this disaster. After all, your endless movements are not prescribed for you in this life. You are still recommended. A calm meditative life is drawn now on the walls, and you can write books or paintings. That is career growth for you in life. You are not needed.
Must.
To be a woman, a mother.
Like this. All right, I'll ponder over it. It's astounding what I think about my child, and she observed him precisely. I believe she saw right through me or something like that. So what really surprised her was seeing those helicopter blades. I'm just shocked.
Well, for psychics, this was the last task for today. In a few minutes, the jury will decide who was the best this week. For whom will our battle end?
Sulu certainly triumphed in this.
She calls it clear. Everything, event dates, names here.
Raises doubts.
Perhaps some things, but not as much as how she demonstrates to us.
I'll name it now. The name of the person for whom our trials will be over. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here to make a decision. This week will be the best psychic, and who unfortunately will leave our battle. Let me remind you that last week Adelina Karaeva, whom we recognized as the weakest, was outraged by such a decision of the jury.
She mentioned it in relation to our project.
There exists a term known as
information leak.
Adeline called upon, duel between Sulu and Iskandar. And I decided to argue with the opinion of the jury, dear friends. Who won this duel, Sulu or Adeline?
Upon learning about this duel, I had no doubts whatsoever. Certainly Solem appears much stronger than Adeline. My test subject mentioned things to a woman caught in a catastrophe, a kind that none of the crew, including you and I, were aware of.
With clarity, she names all the dates of the events.
Yes, this is amazing. This raises doubts. And I must note that the truth is often perceived as a lie, and a lie as the truth.
Always like the truth.
I honestly don't believe in leaking information from the film crew. It seems that psychics can leak information to each other because it is easier for them to agree with each other. How a psychic will approach me or someone else and say, leak the information to me, especially since in my, let's say, test, I specifically asked to give me such a test in which it is impossible to leak information a priori, and that is those heroes who sat on the other side of the city. Behind these internet chats, a psychic sat next to me. At this time, the draw was chosen that Hero and Sulu and Adeline were quite weak in my test. But Alexi Fat, I was just shocked when he started saying that there was a change of images, either female or male. I think that a transvestite, I have an idea, then suddenly he's talking about a wig. I think, what a wig? Why is he suddenly talking about it when Zaza Napoli is shown? So I understand that he clearly described everything from head to toe. This is absolutely the age of this stupid wig. This is really a person to whom no one leaks information unambiguously.
But at my trial, you will laugh. Isulu and Adeline showed good results. They are the only psychics who mentioned Pushkin's name. The name Pushkin was directly associated with this story, which they were to feel. Now, although the main thing is that they should have felt this is a ghost that does not allow local residents to live peacefully there, but I do not believe in it. I was interested in facts. The most convincing was Alexei Fat. He not only followed history textbooks there, went through the school curriculum and told us something about the 18th century. Remembered Pushkin. He felt that the former owner of this estate was separated from her child. He told her fate, and I completely agree with you because Alexei Fat is indeed very strong and better.
There was a test. He really makes an impression here.
Okay, and let's agree that the white envelope in our story is such a formality all psychics
are waiting for black
envelope. Let's thoroughly analyze and comprehend.
Who will be the one to depart from the project?
If we're objective without any duel, then in my opinion, I completely agree with Adeline. There is a psychic much weaker than her, and this is not Sulo, but Nadezhda Titova. Because when during our test at the Goncharov estate, I asked her to describe a ghost, she looked for it. Where is the ghost? Where is the ghost? And real, as it seemed to me, she found it. She became to touch some little man.
Nadezhda Titov left a rather peculiar impression on me. I think she might perceive something, but not exactly in the manner she portrays to us, which leads me to speculate that she possesses psychic abilities. Similarly, I found Delina Kareva to be quite unremarkable. I don't know.
Indeed, cherished friends, I want to remind you that our time is limited, and I believe many people made their decision.
Yes.
So, dear
friends, what you think?
The weakest psychic?
In this week.
Well, now let's meticulously select the very best. They decided, well, I'm in a hurry to come to.
Psychics.
They are waiting for me at the appointed time.
In the appointed location.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, the jury has just made its decision. Enclosed in a white envelope, there is a photograph of the man who was deemed the best by the jury.
This week.
So, I congratulate Alexei Fat. I'm trying to say one thing.
Everything here is... It is indeed challenging. Significant tests. Very serious team. Therefore, I take pride in being the top performer in this team.
And now, dear friends, this is the most stressful moment of our project. I'm going to name a name now. For whom are these trials will end. Nadezhda Titova.
You know, I want to tell, but you just know about it.
That's all?
Time.
As a mother, I deeply thank you for your enduring strength and resilience.
Everything will be okay?
I wish my colleagues patience and the ability to navigate these trials with calmness and serenity, as this place is an extraordinary strain on both body and mind.
And to you, dear friends, the psychic battle continues every week, Sunday at 8 evening on the TNT channel.